available in later in this presentation. And the wait is now over. We are very excited to announce our special guest, our subject matter expert for this event. She's joining us live. Hornstra joined us in May as our Chief Underwriter and Compliance Officer. She has a vast knowledge of the industry with previous experience at 1891 Financial Life and the Catholic Order of Foresters. She is well versed in business development, compliance, insurance operations, and reinsurance. She is joining us today to share her deep underwriting knowledge with us, and she will stick with us for our question and answer segment, so please feel free to submit your questions as we move along. So without further ado, welcome to, thank you for joining us.
Thank you, Jenna. Good morning, everyone, and it is nice to meet all of you. I just want to start that with my experience in underwriting. I understand how important life insurance it is with family. It protects the loved ones from income loss and can pay for a final expense. So I want to provide a little, synopsis of what an underwriter does. Jenna, can you move to the next slide? Thank you. Preparing your client. And with preparing your client, this all starts with you all as field underwriters. You have that close relationship with the client. Thus puts you in a position to discover things that underwriting would not have. So it would be easy to set up that expectation with your client. In turn, your client will know what to anticipate. This builds credibility and a relationship of trust. So I'm hoping today to give you a perspective into underwriting so we can work together to help you build that relationship with your clients. So tips for successful underwriting experience. Of course, accurate information and full disclosure of medical history is always essential. And I understand sometimes clients don't want to share things, but if you explain to them that this will help us decide, better at assessing the premium that they would have to pay. Check to see if your client has any uninsurable conditions, and you can see that on the SI guidelines. This will save you from submitting an application that in turn is declined, and it will save your clients time as well. Prepare your client with the age and amount underwriting guidelines, and this comes with the full underwriting. Help them understand that, yes, you're making an appointment with an examiner, they're coming to their house, prepare them for the blood work and the urine, ask them to hydrate the day before, because this helps with pumping up the blood vessels and ease of obtaining blood samples, and as well as urine. And it also helps with the return of cleaner results. When submitting a large case, a cover letter of explanation is always helpful for the underwriter to look at, and this also helps a smoother process. So we're not going back to you, every once in a while. Oh, what's the purpose of the insurance? Asking you about conditions of the applicant. So it does help with the expectations as well. A lot of you probably think, oh gosh, it's hard to think like an underwriter. But really, you guys are the field underwriters, right? So you should know this more than anybody. Disclosure of existing coverage and replacement. Why we ask this? Because we want to make sure that the client isn't overinsured. You know, it helps us to know, oh, they're replacing, and if it's a 1035 exchange, it does all come into how we assess the case. And here's the most important is the disclosure of medical history, condition name, date of diagnosis, and medications. I see a lot of applications come in with just medications. We don't know what it's used for. A lot of medications can be used for treatment on several conditions. So this is helpful for us as well. Reveal critical lifestyle factors. Of course, as you know, when we look at an application, we don't just look at the health issues. We look at the lifestyle as well. You know, are they a pilot? Do they scuba dive? That all plays into the assessment. Has the client applied to other carriers? MIB search will bring this about. So save us a step of going back to the client and asking about it by admitting to it or disclosing it on the application. You all know about insurable interest between the owner and the insured or the beneficiary to the insured, so I won't speak too much on this. So simplified issue, as you all know, it's loaded at table 4, our product. The underwriting requirements that we request are MIB, MBR, and health picture. So health picture is something new that's been around probably maybe 5 years or so. And we use this because it has prescription check, it has lab results that the applicant has done for their primary doctors or special doctors with specialties, and also the medical claims where the doctor is billing insurance. Determine the eligibility, use the bill chart, accept, decline medical conditions. This is all helpful to save you a step in submitting an application. At times, a questionnaire is requested, and of course, this is just to give us an understanding of control, especially in hypertension and diabetes. We want to make sure that the client is compliant with going to see the doctor, with their medication. So that is all helpful. And if you need help with the risk assessment, feel free to send an email to the underwriting email box. Full underwriting takes a little bit more time and requires a little bit more information. So again, expectations is good, and just to set that expectation for your client, and then they know what to expect. Again, we require MIB, MVR, script check, and of course, paramedical exam, blood work, and as I recommended before, hydrate the day before. This will be helpful for your client, and let them know if an EKG is required. Most of them, this is usually for the older folks, most of them know what an EKG is, and they can prepare for that too. You know, by wearing clothing that's easy to do the measurements. Medical records. So a lot of people or a lot of agents think that underwriters like medical records. Well, we don't. We really don't, because medical records, you know, can come in 100 pages, 500 pages, and we have to read them all. And that's another reason why I don't read books anymore, because I read medical records. So really, medical records help us with the assessment to make sure that we are able to provide an offer to your client. It's not to give a reason for declines. It's to provide an offer to your client. So sometimes medical records can take 4 to 6 weeks, depending on the facility. But if you are on top of it, sometimes we'll ask your client to go to the facility to get it. That's helpful, especially with electronic records nowadays that you can get. It should be quicker. Inspection report audit is a telephone interview for $500,000 or more, and you can prepare your clients with that as well. So in closing, I want to say that I want to collaborate with sales. I think the collaboration of sales and underwriting is important as we work towards providing protection for the families with the least amount of risk for the organization. So with good underwriting practices, you can set realistic expectations for your client and help underwriting select better risks. And here's my email. I am very experienced with conversing with producers, and I am a big proponent of communication and building that relationship with our producers. So I welcome any communications that you might have to help you with quotes, pre-assessment, or just say hi.